What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we're going to check out the Diezel VH4S. Let's do it. All right, hope you guys are doing great out there. Today, we're gonna take a look at the Diezel VH4S. I'm actually doing this video for the third time because there were issues with both of the original videos that I shot, but I'm kind of glad because those were earlier in my little YouTube journey here and they were not that great. So now I am running through it one last time because I actually sold it over the weekend and it's gotta go bye-bye. So we're gonna take a look at it one more time here. I got this amp really wanting to love it and just never really quite got along with it. It's a little bit too thick in the low mids, and the low end it is a little bit too bouncy for my taste. I don't hate it by any means. I think it's a fantastic sounding amp. Just for me, it's not quite to my personal liking. So that intro clip, of course, using the Deadwell Duality DX on the green Tube Screamer modified channel. We were on channel 3 here on the Diezel VH4. We're gonna set everything back to noon real quick and jam through this bad boy with no boost. I had the deepen the presence off because Nolly Get Good actually said that that is the best way to try and tame this amp. He said the negative feedback circuit kind of almost makes the amp get a little bit out of control when you have things dialed up there. We're gonna explore it, but for now, I've got those things dialed down. Yeah, so we're on channel 3, which is the famous channel on the VH4, everything at noon. EL34 tubes in the power section. Let's hear how that sounds. Sounds pretty damn massive. For me, I need some more high end. Okay. One thing I noticed is the mids on this thing are very round, so when you dial it down, it takes some of the low mids out as well as the high mids, whereas most amps, when you dial the mids down, it kind of takes more of the upper mid range out and leaves the low mids to the bass dial. So although that's scoopy, I almost kind of like it better with the mids dialed down. Let's dial them up a little bit and see how that sounds. As you can tell, it adds kind of all the mid frequencies. So even though it does add some upper mids, it kind of makes the mids and the amp itself sound rounder altogether. So yeah, anyways, this guitar is a little bass heavy and the Alchemist has quite a bit of low end even though it's tight. So maybe a slightly thinner guitar would benefit the amp more to kind of thin out that lower mid bump that it's got going on. But as of now, this guitar sounds good through almost anything I play it through, so we're gonna stick with it. So as you can tell, very, very round. Let's dial the bass down and the mids. Dial the gain up a little bit. This amp does not really have a lot of top end sizzle, and also the saturation is not buzzy. It's a lot more crunchy for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's not quite what my ears used to, and I think that's why I don't bond with it. Also, I think it's a little too thick in the lower mids, but it sounds good for sure. Let's dial up some presence and some deep and see how that changes things. That makes a pretty big difference, even dialed up to 9 o'clock. Still got lots of nice string clarity and separation there. Let's dial the mids up, lows down. I mean, it's tight, but it's still kind of bouncy. It's weird. I think a lot of that has to do more with the gain structure than it even does the low frequencies. I don't know. So, okay, so all that sounds kind of cool. Let's dial the presence up more, dial the treble back. So that gets the amp pretty harsh pretty quick. Let's dial that treble back more. Yeah, just too wop 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 for me on the bottom. Dial the bass up, the deep down. Take that presence back out, dial the highs back up. Let's get a little bit more gain going. This amp is pretty dry. All right, so that is pretty much channel 3 in a nutshell. I can turn the bass up. You guys can see how much bass. I can only imagine how that sounds on the playback. Kind of reminds me of the Ubershaw type bass, but the whole amp just has less like top end presence overall. Let's dial that gain all the way up. Bass back to a reasonable amount. It's just not tight enough like that. So let's dial that gain back. Let's kick in a boost. So that sounds much better with the dead weld for sure. Let's try the TC preamps channel and see how that thing sounds. Kind of goofy, a little less high. I think it's overloading the front end of the Diezel. Not too bad. I still like it better. Let's stack the duality on the red channel and see how ridiculous that sounds, because I bet you that's going to be fun. Lots more compression. The amp's not nearly as open, but I kind of like what's going on. That's almost got too much midsection going on for thrash stuff. If anything, that's more of a testament to the duality than it is to the amp. So that sounds really cool. Let's go to a more traditional boost in the MXR M77. That's how much that thing was adding. The duality really is an awesome pedal. So, okay, gain up again. The bump button on the Badass Modified OD is one of the reasons I love this thing so much. It removes a lot of the low mid frequencies, so it can really tighten up a kind of tubby amp at low section. So that sounds pretty good. Let's try the Fortin OD9 real quick. Obviously, has a lot of output. Still too fat on the lower mids and everything for me. Doesn't tighten up the bass enough. Let's go to channel 4 real quick. We're gonna start everything at noon on channel 4 once again, and then we will tweak a little bit and call it a day. That's channel 4, everything at noon. The gain is down at 9 because this channel has a lot more saturation. As you can see, this channel is very dark, so let's dial up that presence a little bit. Lots of bass. Let's dial the lows down, mids and treble up. All right, so we're still lacking some top end sizzle. That was too much. Okay, so we definitely have a lot more saturation, a lot more tightness on channel 4, and a lot more compression. But overall, I don't like where the low mids are. There's just way too many low mids for my taste. Just not my flavor. It doesn't sound bad, it's just not my thing. Let's turn the gain down. Let's kick a boost on again. Let's get the MXR back in the picture. Ooh, that sounds very Metallica-y. I know they didn't use this till the 90s, but still. That sounds pretty good. little too much on the top end. All right, so that's the best tone I've gotten out of it since I owned it. Good thing I'm about to sell it. But truthfully, I just don't think this is the amp for me. All right, guys, we'll do one more riff and call it a day. All right, guys, so that has been the Diezel VH4S channel 3 and 4. Quick little run through so you guys know how it sounds. Really appreciate you guys hanging out here for this video. Down in the description of this video is my Facebook group, my Discord server, all my Amazon affiliate links, my Patreon that just launched, my bands pages. There's all sorts of stuff down there. Please feel free to take a look at that stuff. And if you liked this video and you like awesome high gain amps, consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel, because all I really do is get super awesome high gain amps, sit them here on a cab, run through them with you guys and let you know how they sound and give you my impressions on them. So if you're into stuff like that, consider subscribing to the channel. Anyways, really appreciate you guys being here. Kyle here again. We'll see you guys next time.